Not all things paranormal seem to fit the typical tales of ghost stories and ghostly apparitions. Sometimes it's something else. Something completely different than the norm. But unexplained phenomena is the closest thing to paranormal there is. Over the next 30 minutes, you'll see actual case footage and numerous case studies of some of the world's most paranormal reports, recordings, and sightings. This surveillance video was provided by the LAPD and is official hotel security footage documenting the final hours of 21-year-old Elisa Lam in February 2013 while at her stay at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Her body was found 2 weeks later on the roof of the hotel inside one of the water supply tanks. Guests started to complain about the foul taste in the water, which led to the discovery of her body. Her autopsy concludes there were no drugs or alcohol found in her system, and her death was ruled an accident. However, the video seems to tell a different story. Her actions are very bizarre to say the least, and it seems something is after her. But what? We may never know. Room 428 at Wilson Hall is permanently closed. Students at Ohio University, the 9th oldest public university in the U.S., are not allowed to so much as enter the dorm room due to the numerous reports of hauntings and dangerous ghostly activity in the room. Wilson Hall was reportedly built on an Indian burial ground. Spiritualists claim that the building is located at the center of a pentagram formed by 5 ancient cemeteries. In the 1970s, a male student died under mysterious circumstances in room 428. Years later, a female student used what she perceived as the room's energy to practice rituals. Not long after moving in, this student died as well, reportedly from cutting her own wrists. Ever since these two students' deaths, anyone who lived in the room reported terrible, scary occurrences at all hours of the day and night. Objects would fly across the room and smash against the walls. Students heard voices whispering and even shouting, even though no one was there. The door would often open and slam shut. Demonic faces kept appearing in the wood grain of the room's door, although the school replaced the door many times. Eventually, the room became too frightening, and the university feared another student's death could result, so they decided to seal the door shut forever. This is the only known case where a dormitory room has been sealed off in the US. This is security footage from a morgue in India. This is the outside corridor for transferring bodies on these stretchers. After morgue security watched this footage for several minutes, a worker is seen walking towards the stretcher. But it moves before he has a chance to grab it. It obviously spooks the man. This footage shows a group of people getting into an altercation on the streets of Thailand. We can see a couple of boys arguing with two girls right before something extremely strange and paranormal happens.
เขาวิ่งกันอย่างเงี้ยน้องไม่เคยนั่งรถเมล์เหรอสายน่ะเขาขับดีกว่านี้มารยาทดีกว่านี้รู้ไหมว่าสายเนี่ยโดนด่าจนไปทั่วบ้านทั่วเมืองแล้วใครคนไหนใครด่าป้าป่ะป้าป่ะน้องป่ะก็ไม่เห็นคนด่าเลยนี่มันหาเรื่องกันชัดเลยลูกพี่ไม่ได้อยากจะหาเรื่องหรอกนะแต่แค่อยากจะเตือนไว้ว่าทำงานบริการน่ะก็ต้องใส่ใจผู้โดยสารดิไม่ใช่สักแต่ว่าทำแท็กซี่เลยไหมมีนะเดี๋ยวเรียกให้เอาป่ะช่วยตีนะน้องนี่พอตีเถอะเราอะทำไมนี่เจ้ายังไงก็ว่ามาเรื่องนี้จบทันทีนี่เหมือนกันเป็นคนขับรถอะท่านมาไม่มีมารยาทด้วยซื้อใบขับขี่มาเหรอโอ้ยนี่ได้ไงวะพูดจานี่ได้ไงวะทำไมเฮ้ยพี่เฮ้ยเอ็งทำไรอะฮะเอ็งทำไรเฮ้ยมึงทำได้ไงอยู่พี่เฮ้ยเอ็งทำอะไรอ่ะเอ็ง
In 1938, an archaeological expedition along the border of China and Tibet led to the discovery of several caves along the mountain summit. Inside the caves were several graves, and the walls were covered in elaborate drawings of the moon, stars, and solar system. Amongst the findings were sketches of small people, like figures with large heads. When the graves were excavated, they found several skeletal remains around 3 feet tall with abnormally large skulls. Along with the skeletons, a collection of stone discs were discovered. Each disc was 12 inches in diameter with a hole in the center. The discs were etched with grooves. These grooves appeared as if just lines, but after further research it was noted that each line had a series of carvings and symbols. In all, a total of 716 stones were discovered and dated to be around 12,000 years old. In 1958, the stones were given to researcher Sum Young Ui for further examination. He studied the stones for 4 years and said the stones told a story of a spacecraft that crashed carrying a species known as the Dropa people. He published his findings in 1962, and then the stones were sent to a Russian scientist in 1968. He said the stones were made of granite, cobalt, and other metals, which makes the stones highly unlikely to have been developed by primitive people. In 1994, the Bampo Museum in Cheyenne claimed to have destroyed the stones and officially have no record of them existing. There is also no official record of a tribe called Dropa anywhere in China. However, there is proof of these stones once existing, and to say the least, strange to have been wiped away from history. Uploaded by YouTuber MostlyGhost.com, this video shows a man walking his dog outside of his home in Russia. While on a nearby trail, the man notices a little girl seemingly floating or levitating in midair. Looking closely, we can see that the girl is moving around while floating. So this isn't a frozen or paused still frame.
Tarzan, ко мне! Что это? Тихо, тихо, Таrzan. Таrzan, тихо, Таrzan. Боже мой, что это было?
This is home camera footage uploaded by YouTuber Nazmi Eric. Everything seems completely normal in this video, until you watch the reflection of the young girl in the mirror.
睨みつけるようにこちらを向いている。
じゃー
この鏡は母親が知人から譲り受けた古いものだという。
In this CCTV footage uploaded by a YouTuber named All Around the Web in 2016, we see what looks like a normal security feed. That is, until this woman seemingly becomes possessed. Emily Sage was a well-liked French school teacher who taught at an all-girls school in 1845. Her case is one of the first doppelganger cases recorded in history. While Sage was in front of the class teaching a lesson, 13 students witnessed Sage's double appear and mimic her every action. However, Emily herself was unable to see it. The doppelganger was seen numerous times wandering around the school grounds, and Emily was finally let go of her position due to the conflict it created with the students. Emily was fired from 18 different teaching jobs because of her unfortunate trait. The mysterious case of Flight 914 has left scientists baffled for years. Pan Am Flight 914 took off from New York on its way to Miami, Florida in the year 1955. There were 57 passengers and 5 flight personnel on board. September 9th, 1990, an old aircraft suddenly appears over the Caracas Airport in Venezuela. The airport's radar could not pick up the plane, and the pilot called the airport control tower asking where they were. Eyewitness Juan de la Corte had a conversation with the pilot, and control tower recordings are evidence of that. It was reported in nearly every newspaper at the time. Airport personnel looked through the old logs and in fact found the flight, only to realize that it was reported missing from July 2nd, 1955. Flight logs and verification by telex also confirmed the plane leaving from the New York airport, but suddenly went missing. Everyone in the tower was completely astonished and didn't know what to expect when they landed. Airport officials went out to meet them, but the plane quickly flew away, and no one has ever heard from Flight 914 again. This is official security camera footage of a video store located in Mexico, uploaded by YouTuber Fry98. An employee is seen stocking the shelves with DVD movies. First, his cart seems to move all by itself, seemingly out of the employee's view and unbeknownst to him. But soon after, the store clerk will realize he's not alone. This is security camera footage of an office located on Liverpool Road in Manchester. The video was uploaded by YouTuber Southport TV in November 2012. It switches through multiple security camera feeds throughout the office, and what's captured is extreme. Mary Reeser of St. Petersburg, Florida, was found in her apartment on July 2, 1951. The landlord said to have called the police because of a strange heat resonating from Mary's apartment. Police arrived at her home, located at 1200 Cherry Street, to find 67-year-old Mary Reeser burned to death in a mysterious fire. Not much remained of Reeser except a partial leg with a foot and a slipper that curiously showed no signs of burning. A piece of her skull also remained, but it was described in the reports as shrunken in size and abnormally small. Oddly enough, only the chair she sat in was burned. Nothing else in the apartment showed signs of charring. It requires 3 to 4 hours of 3,000-degree temperatures to cremate a body, so the case of Mary Reeser was unheard of until it was brought to the attention of authorities that this could be in fact a human combustion case. This is when a person bursts into flames from a chemical reaction in their body without any external heat sources. The FBI soon took over the case and officially ruled it a fire, although many scientists will debate otherwise. There have been several cases of alleged spontaneous human combustion, but this one is the most widely documented case in its field and recognized as a legitimate report. Paranormal anomalies come in all forms. It's not always a ghost or a sound in the night. Sometimes it's something completely different. Something you can't see at all. The world is full of unexplained events that lead us down the paranormal road. And if you've never been there, then perhaps one day you will.
you.